to be a rebel, 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 trend rebel, trend rebel, trend rebel, trend rebel.
All right, all right. Let's see. Got some charts getting pulled up. Where are my charts? Ooh, there's an Apple chart. Let's see if I can share that with you. Big Daddy in the house. What's going on, buddy? Good, good. Thanks. You're always so mysterious because your mic is like the worst ever. I don't know whether it's your mic on your computer or something. So whenever you talk, it's all muffled, and so I never know if you're like flying an airplane or if you're just kind of looking down on us from God's chair. Never know.
Yeah, no, I'm just on the computer mic.
Oh, it sounds better now. That's funny. All right.
Yeah, if I
Well,
don't look right at it, then it doesn't
yeah, I gotcha. I
come through very
gotcha.
well.
Nice. All right. Well, let's go through this. So, looky here. We've got the VIX. We've got the projected down path that we saw here. This is the 10 o'clock candle coming on down through here. We had a little bit of a pullback up into the 4-hour 9. Weekly 9 rejected, pushed down. We made it below our trend line that we have here. Rough sketch trend line, but it's good enough, and it's giving us that relief here. So now we have targets for the VIX. Now that we have broken that trend line, we need to continue to push on down and get below this 18,250. So that 18,250, which was the number we wanted before, that we had breached back here a little while ago. We've seen that we have actually held that through several weeks here. We now actually need to attempt to try to break that. Now that we know what is on every investor's mind for AI and how that needs to be resolved, we now have the tools to be able to project a future for AI and where that needs to lead on everybody's balance sheets. That doesn't help us with the current round of earnings because life has already expended and we are just reporting on it. So we will still see some volatility going through that in the next couple of weeks. I expect that volatility to be a little dramatic as we get 2 weeks out from here, or 3 weeks out from here. But as for today and in the short term, hopefully Apple has respectable expenditures and has tamed itself down like Microsoft has. I have a feeling that they will report very similarly in that respect. So that should be a good push for us. Amazon also, again, I don't think that they are trying to be on the outreach of cutting technology with AI to cannibalize other pieces of their business. They are definitely a savvy investor in the space, but I don't think we're going to be looking at crazy capexes that do not result in actual revenue generation. So those should be good, which should help push this VIX down to us to this 8.25 level. We can hopefully break that number and start on our path to a nice little journey here. Looking at ES here, recovery is nice. Here is the second breakdown. Here's our actually, it's like the third breakdown. Here's our second up here. Here's our third. We have now claimed that breakdown here, which is good with price. We need to do so with trend as well. Nice little scoop up on out of here. You saw our yesterday had our low all the way down here, 7,324 ish. And then pumping up on through, taking out the simple RTH, the SMAs here, and headed towards the daily 9, which is going to be resistance. So still some trouble ahead for ES on the charts. Nothing that can't be taken, though, quickly. I do want to point out, though, that this 4-hour 50 has been a stall point for us in the past, recent past here, falling all the way up. Look at this, right? So we have overcome it in the past here, but right now, this has been the major break point for every one of our breakdowns over the last 3 weeks. So knowing that we need to be very careful here at the 4-hour 50 on approach, I do believe we ultimately take that and push up. So I don't think there's going to be any major concerns there. Let's translate that into SPY on the regular trading hours chart here. You can see a real clear bottom formation here. This looks good. The fact that this candle is up here is excellent. We actually need to take the high of this candle here, and I'd love to take the high of day yesterday, but I don't think that's going to potentially happen. We've definitely pushed a lot as it is, going up about 10.6 points here on SPY on the overnight. into today. So looking good for SPY here. Just have this whole bundle of SMAs that we have to tackle that we have been aware of for some time. Big one here, 4-hour 20 has been showing us clear resistance from last week into this week here. And then I think that next week we take this, if not tomorrow, and push on through. Tomorrow could be a little hectic day with earnings. There's some earnings on the table that I haven't gone through all of them. It's available. The megas that are available, I think, should look pretty good. I think Amazon and Apple will give us a fair reading, and we won't have too much chaos with those two guys. But there are some other ones that could add some mayhem, so we need to be on the lookout. Bitcoin agrees with me. It has departed the 63,800 threshold. We are now getting close to 6,500. Would like to see us take 6,500 and over the weekend actually finally get a push with Bitcoin getting up into this space. 66,000 clears the path for growth. So we will see where that goes. I am not predicting Bitcoin at all at this point in time for that. I am just saying that's where I'd like to see things move on. Bitcoin's been a little bit erratic on this stuff, but I do like the indicator, the use of it as an indicator in this particular fashion, leaving the kind of the doldrums of the portion that pulls us down all the time. In order to clear that, though, we do need to clear the 65.6 range. 65.7 range here, which is the top peak that we're at before. So we will look out for that current week high and the monthly high that this represents right here. So beating that out gives us a opening and a door to push on through 66, which then gives us the door to head towards the 70s. So hopefully looking through on that one, that'll come to fruition. Here we are on ES, the ES mess. Here's the open in the morning here. We have a little pop, little pullback, kind of sorting it out here right after the other call, our pre-market call, pushing on up to the high here, following this 4-hour 20 on the RTH as a blockade. We stampeded back and forth on this. Nice short down onto the 4-hour 9 on the RTH here, stampeding across this for the bounce, pushing on up, and here we go. We had a back test here that held and pushed up, which brings us to where we are. Utilizing Ginger's pivots, you can see clearly we're at that structural pivot level here, and we have a weak high, which means that this high can actually push further from here. 5-minute SMAs all over the map. We've been kind of all over the road here with this thing. Overall trend, just not joining. Overall trend, though, is still exactly the way it was in pre-market. You can see this growth ramp here. Then you have all of the kind of the wallows and pushes in here to try to price everything. So we are still on this trajectory. It looks pretty solid. I'd like to see that carry on into the overnight, maybe with some flattening, and then tomorrow we get to play the game a little harder. How do we know it's going up to? We see point of control has elevated. We are at point of control at 74.40. That means that the volume for this 1-day period that this is monitoring is all at this level. That's the highest level of volume. Second highest level is down here at 74.07. That's giving us kind of the lower end of support. So that gives us 2 points of support now because we're priced is higher, that we can see a tremendous amount of volume for today's trading in position for. Oil did nothing today, sat at the 83 level, bouncing between 82.9 and 84. Not a big deal. Didn't drop like I wanted it to, but that's okay. We did get the VIX to capitulate, so we are still on our way. Everything looks pretty good here. Bullish chart for the day. Yesterday not so much. Today looks good, but let's not try to shake this into a dead cat bounce or anything like that. You can see clearly on the daily chart here for SPY pushing on up in today. We are right at that daily 9. That could give us the rejection that unfolds this again. But if I look at the overall trend and what we have here, this is kind of right in line with a nice push up for a 2-week run back up here. Whether we take and get into all-time highs or not, I can't see that far yet. But what I can see is us kind of trying to run up again here, maybe some consolidation push here before we get a rejection, and then we will start to see a little bit of falling down in here. More on that later as we get closer, but good news is we didn't need the monthly 9, and I don't think we're looking for it. I think if we take this daily 9 here and the weekly 9, we have a good road for us for a nice 2-week run, similar to what we saw right here. It's going to be volatile, of course, it always is, but at least we have a pathway that's viable on an upswing, and which is where most of you guys make your money. Once we start getting up into this level here at the 750, that's where we're going to start being a little bit more cautious about the top of this. And we're going to start to use some new techniques in order to keep you guys safe, because I am tired of going through accounts and fixing all your guys' messes here because you don't sell in profit and then you wait to the bottom. So we're going to figure out how to do this in a different way for those of you that are doing that, and we will get you guys straightened out so that you can learn to take your profits here and you can buy at these bottoms like we planned out yesterday. Qs, similar situation, more of a leader in what's going to happen here on the daily. Further away from the daily 9, so has more room to grow. SPY can overshoot and pull back if the Qs reject on this daily 9 in the overnight, which is where I believe that session is going to take place for us. Cleaner chart for us, though, on the Qs, meaning we don't have that dip that we have here on SPY. We don't have this anomaly here in this overrun. Much cleaner chart. We can show a downtrend connection here on this, and then we can show a clear conversion going in here with this, like this here. Our cancellation of this pullback is all the way up here at the 726 range. This 726 number is going to be a headache for us for some time to come. So just keep in mind that is kind of our level of discontent here. Let me just pull it up to right around there. Got my monthly pivot actually right on it there. So that's the core piece we need to look out for. We obviously aren't going to close up there for this month. That pivot will change on the close tomorrow, and then we will have a new set to go in here. This will move slightly to the downward projection, but won't hit us too hard. So Qs are definitely going to be on my radar in terms of how these handle everything going forward. But looking good so far. NVIDIA healthy right now. It is in a consolidation point for the day, popping in between the 9 and the 20. We got a new candle on arrival for the RTH, but today, in the 24-hour channel, we can see a clear path upward. The reason I like this 24-hour channel is I'll show you right now. So here is half of yesterday's closing candle, and then we have the overnight. We have today, we have half of today's candle and half of the pre-market. Then we have today's candle only, and then we have half of today's candle going into the overnight. So that closes there. So we have a melded in. It gives us more data on this whole run here, so we can see things a little bit clearer. That was probably the worst drawing I could ever do, but at least you get an idea of what that looks like. It gives me a shot. I can say, hey, guys, here's the trend, and it's the trend from yesterday through the overnight to today, and that is freaking clear as day. Same thing with the trend the prior day and from the overnight. We can take that down here and we can push that in. Little consolidation in here breaks that trend slightly, but we definitely had a cap on here too, and this cap is going to be important. It's actually point of control. You can see that. I'm going to slide this over. So see this orange marker here, so that's telling us point of control. This is where all the volume is over the last 2-week period, which is what we are addressing with the Qs right now. So definitely have to break out into this new formation here. We're in a falling wedge. We're recapturing it right now, and hopefully we can push on up through, and I think we will. Things that are going to give us concern are again earnings related. SPY has already taken the bull by the horns and is off and running. Not only SPY, we also have Soxel doing the same thing. You can see this. So this little line here is a kind of a new feature in the indicator. This is my 24-hour chart, and here is a 4-hour regular trading hours trend line for regular trading hours. And you can see why I have this dubbed into the 24-hour chart, so that in case we need this as a backup support, it's in there. It's really simple to use. All you got to do is hop in your time hopper, do a Control R refresh, and update it if you haven't already. But it's right down here. You got you do a 24-hour chart with your SMAs. All you got to do is go down and add RTH and hit this partial plot, and that's this line right here. You can make it thicker, you can make it longer, you can make the label size tiny. I don't really need massive labels on this because I know any of these little weird lines sticking in the middle of my chart, I know what they belong to. Blue one, that's 4-hour 20. White one's 4-hour 9, regular trading hours, and there's my 4-hour 50. So why I'm doing them, you can see right now. That is couldn't be any more clear in terms of how they're helping me with all of this. So keeping that in mind there, Soxel looks good. Again, I had a baseline here for a pullback and what we should be aware of. I told you I didn't think it would come. I had multiple calls with multiple people this morning with concerns about us getting down here and what the ripcords look like. Ripcords are really simple. This is it for new guys in today in terms of concerns. They pull out early so they don't lose their profits. Those of you that are invested in yesterday in our conversations, your ripcord is yesterday's low. And that's as simple as that. As we get into towards the end of the day here, my target and what I'd like to see us hold is yesterday's high of day. That is hidden by my pointers for a second. So yesterday's high of day is right here at 216 at 116ish. Right there, and so we need to pull that pull up to there. We are pulling right up to that right now. If we don't close above it, that's not the end of the world and does not mean that we're not going to get what we want. But if we do, it just gives me a lot more credibility in terms of how my thinking of this actually running up and taking off here. This looks like it's a soft landing, but it looks like it could be a really nice launch pad if we kind of head up here and go. So 24-hour 9 SMA, our new piece of equipment that's following through us. We now have that in upward support. That is your baseline for loss now on the early, so we can go ahead and move that on up for the normies that are invested in today after not going through all of this turmoil yesterday and just buying the upswing. So there's your exit there. Everybody else, again, the other guys that I've had those one-on-ones with, you guys, you're still down here at 86.21 in terms of your backstop there. I think we are beyond that now. For now, we got a couple of weeks. Hopefully, we get this push. I do really think that AI is actually starting to be recognized as the tool that it is. So hopefully, we'll be able to keep that push running. The reaction from here should be pretty stiff and should get us up here. Daily 9 target possibly for tomorrow. I am not advising anybody on anything ever, but even if I was telling people some things that I was doing, I'm not going to add any positions here. Even though we are at point of control, it's not a horrible spot to look at. I still want to see it shake together and come here. I want to see that 24-hour 9 go. I want to see that 9 pop through that 4-hour 20, and then we'll have plenty of runway to bring it on up from there. Great spot though for everything. Hopefully everybody got their pieces in there. Let me just forget what guy here. And sorry, I don't usually text message when I'm talking, but I totally forgot. So here is the daily chart for Soxel, and you can totally see what I was talking about this morning and how we kind of interact with that. So this is kind of a difficult zone for us here as the daily 9 creeps on down, but we are holding our own, taking out the 4-hour 9 on the RTH right about there right now. And then this is kind of my target dependent upon which way we get there and how steep the recovery would be to get there, and roughly in the time frame I want to see that happen in. Probably going to be a little earlier than that, but we will see. You can see that if I cloned this line in terms of a trajectory, in case you guys think I'm crazy, I'll take that line, cloned it, and I put it over here. You can see that that is not at all unusual for Soxel. So this type of trajectory is completely feasible, and I think once everybody kind of had that bottom set in here, we should be able to see that take shape. MU, similar path here. What a great run for MU today. Anybody got in yesterday? You got a 173-point run on MU, 18% on that. On your option contracts, I think, what is it? Almost 1,300% on the cons from yesterday. So really awesome run here for MU. And then and same story as with Soxel. Obviously, one of the biggest suppliers of Soxel's run too. CRDO starting to warm up to some ideas here. You know, taking the 4-hour 9 here. We got the 4-hour 9 on the 24-hour shooting up underneath us. This chart looks exactly the same as MU, as Soxel, all that stuff. Love the range. Again, 20-point range today on this. 11 points on here. Massive money on the options. I sat it out today. I had other things I was looking at. and I'm not there yet with this, but I do love day trading this. So anytime you want to day trade something, this is definitely one of the ones that's looking at good to do it. I showed you yesterday's path as like one of the trajectories, or you could have the inversion. So today you have the inversion. Yesterday was down, consolidate, up. Today is up, consolidate, and then what comes next? I think you guys know the answer to that. So we will see if that happens yet or not. Again, most people in a we're kind of in a neutral trend right here for this. So be careful. CoreWeave, this is the big surprise for the day. Whenever I yell at it, it performs. Again, it's not really impressing me all that much because all the pieces that we had in here are gone. But if I extend out my kind of negative channel here, we have taken it. So I have to give it credit where due. So taking that channel out, pushing us into potentially creating a new structure is what I'm looking at. If we do decide to create a new structure here and it continues up, then I will draw that out and we will see how that goes. For right now, though, you can see why we've had difficulty. We popped out of the structure before, and we were stuck in this one going for quite some time. So where do I want to see us go to get from here? 87.69 is the number to beat. That is 12 plus points away from current price. I won't touch it until we get there. Looks like the Meta debacle did help feed CoreWeave's strength here. So Meta gets to eat their words in terms of their overages, and CoreWeave gets to celebrate for the day. I want this day to turn into a trend. That's why I'm waiting for 87.69. I wouldn't get in early on this. I don't necessarily believe that we are where we need to be with this yet. So let's get a whole day behind us before we start pushing any buttons on CoreWeave. AMD, halfway recovery on a 3-day. So we're doing okay here on AMD. Not as much as everybody else. We got 58 points, 13%. Still a good run for AMD as well. We can actually look at this on a entry level. If you were looking for entry today, what I would want to do is I would want to hold today's gains here. So there's where I'm going to set my exit for that. Tesla. Tesla is interesting here. So here's what I want to say about Tesla. If I can't find my exit, I can't find it anywhere. Okay. Here's what I want to say on Tesla. Tesla has been doing this cascade, falling knife, cascade, no falling knife recovery. If I can get Tesla in stage 1, meaning like today, tomorrow, if we can get up above tomorrow, like 311, if we can take that 311 number, we might start to see a recovery here. Otherwise, here's the trap that we're in right now. Just draw it in the shape for you here. So there's the trend for this current drop. And if we don't take it and we reject, we're going to get back down below this. And I don't want to do that. And I also can fix this trend here too. There. So this is the channel we've been trading in. We just broke out. So I like the fact that we have a breakout. Matter of fact, a couple clients are doing cash secure puts here, trying to formulate a basis for a run higher. If you're doing that on TSLL, you'll notice that there's not a lot more to go down. So it's actually a good indicator for where you are at. So want to be really careful here, though, if on a breakout potential, I see a formation of one, but we're not quite there yet. Again, we've got the 4-hour 9 coming in on display for us here, so that's pretty good to be able to look at. Let me just make sure I've got my correct. See, I don't. Let me push that in the right direction. Give myself some partial plots so you can see. That always takes a minute to formulate, but there we go. So yeah, we do have the 24-hour 9 coming up underneath. So this is going to look a lot sweeter to take. Another thing about switching to 24-hour charts is that the opportunities for ride the 9 type scenarios and utilizing the supports will be more prevalent because we won't have gaps and the 4-hour 9 chasing gaps anymore. So this will be very, very smooth, and it'll give us a little bit more of a pick me up when we're getting in here. So this looks good. I like Tesla here. I'm not buying it right now, but this is a good, looks like a good formation starting to take hold. And SpaceX, told ya. So we're still in the consolidation phase here with this new NASA type, or government, I should say, news. And then we'll head back on our trajectory, which in case you've forgotten, it is that way. Apple. So I bought some calls for Apple for earnings. This is a high risk scenario. What is my thought process behind this? Is that we have a excuse me, we have a new confirmation in terms of the viewscape of AI. We have Apple going to come in with positive earnings. Apple's been sitting at all-time highs. It's got the beat down before the street report, and that is you rarely get this kind of set up in this really nice lightened way pre-earnings. So I thought this was worth a gamble, and a gamble is what it is. So I'm going to see how that goes and takes us on our run here. Look at this trend line trajectory here. Look at how she's holding right now. So take a small gamble if you want. Apple earnings post close today, along with Amazon. If this beats, which it will, right? So let me just pull up some quick info on Apple's last earnings here. Come on, Apple. Let's go. I hate trading Apple, by the way. It's one of my least favorite companies. But it does do some things well, and that's perform when the stock performs when it's supposed to perform. So Apple typically beats by a low margin, and in a Q3 last year, it beat it by like a couple percentage points, but did well. We are in line in target with a lower expectation than prior to 3 quarters, which means this one might be the one that we actually move higher from. So I think that they may actually stretch their earnings above normal levels here and get it. And why do I think that? I think that based upon the stretch and the revenue generation that AI has been bringing those who have been spending responsibly. I'm 50-50 on Apple's expenditures on where that's going to lay out. So it could be a miss here completely, and this thing could dump like a freaking rock. But I have a feeling that they're actually a little bit more frugal with what they're spending it on in terms of getting their ROI together. Apple understands ROI. Meta doesn't care about ROI. There's two different mindsets altogether. The street wants ROI proven, and we can thank Microsoft for showing us that. And Apple's typically more aligned with Microsoft these days than it is Meta. So let's see what that gives us. But yeah, quick little gamble here on that for the overnight, and we'll look at where we go. Hey, same thing here with with Amazon, but everybody already knows, right? So you had Amazon with the earnings report coming. Again, beat down before the thing. Why is it getting beat down? Well, what did we see with every single earnings report in the last 3 weeks for all these megas? We saw everybody optimistic they're going to beat, trying to hold price. Earnings reported massive dumps because of AI expenditures and because of everything else. Not because of revenue, not because of EPS, not because of any of that stuff, but because of what we see on the AI spend. So Amazon, everybody knows they're going to spend that money and get an ROI on that money. So it's not going to be completely out of the box or unrecognizable. So that's already being built in. Tough to buy here when we had a floor yesterday down at 225. So I won't play Amazon because we're sitting in the middle of the bag. Apple's easier to play because it's at the bottom of the barrel. Netflix, Ginger went through this in pretty good detail. Oop, I got drawings. Pretty good detail earlier today. I will refrain from spending too much speculation on Netflix. I don't like it here because I see the consolidation. Chart looks good though. We're starting to actually formulate a good trend line here. Here's your trend, your clear directional trend. And then we have a stall, and that stall is right here. So we're stalling at this level here. So we need to break that stall and start pushing back up. Weekly 9 is the number I told you guys before. I need to take that before I get interested in this again. And that will force trend to beat the breakdown. Then we can have a failed breakdown right here. So I want that to be a failed breakdown to give us the ability to kind of push up here. Google. So Google on its reaction to earnings, this is kind of the standard play here. It's popping back up. We've got a little bit of a pullback down to the 409, which is finally in sync with us. Let's just see what this looks like. So memorize this chart for a second. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to spin this over to the new chart. There we are in a 4-hour, and now you can see how much smoother this is. So we have our earnings report, dump, and then our growth back on it. So here's the pullback coming up. And now what we have here is a pullback to back test all of the supporting MAs. Now these are the RTH MAs. Watch what happens when I change them. I change this to a 24 hours, which gives me the 24-hour MAs, and we'll just use a little sticky wicket to give us the RTHs as little slants in here. Now look at it. Okay, so now what we have here is we got RTH down here, so as secondary support underneath the 4-hour 20, and we have lost the 4-hour 9 on here on the 24-hour chart. So in other words, we have a consolidation area here. We're stuck between the 9 and the 20, and we have the RTH9 underneath as support. Looks like an interesting spot for Google to be, and we'll see if we can get that push up. I called the push up yesterday. We got that, but then we had to pull back again because of Meta. So Meta paved the way for Google's little bit of hurting today, but I believe that will be a retracement. We will see that come back into the ballpark. So nothing to really be concerned about there. This is just laughable. This is so oversold. But the problem is that at this oversold level, Meta is is at a point where you just can't touch it because nobody's going to jump right into it. It's not getting its V-shaped recovery. It made a couple of attempts to kind of reach out from here and failed. So I don't see this happening in the overnight. Tomorrow could be a spike up for Meta. I mean, to be all realistic, it's very possible. I just don't need that kind of risk at this point in time. I don't need to play that. So here's the overnight. So you can see this all connected together. Now that we change it to 24-hour, I'm gonna pop this open here, give ourselves 24 hours worth of data on the SMAs, and we'll add the RTH as a little kicker. So now you can see why this is a little bit more important too. The RTH 4-hour 9 is up here trying to get down, whereas the 24-hour 9 follows the candle down, and it'll be a little bit quicker reacting and get us back into a better shape here. So clearly, overnight low has been taken. We have a candle here. We could connect some dots if we wanted to. I'll do this here just for the heck of it. I will tell you that anything below the overnight low is exit time if you're looking for an entry. If you do want to run this, I don't blame you. It does look like it wants to kick back a little bit and we can get this going. I just worry about too much time being consolidated right here. And I don't have time to stare at this chart all the time. I like things that are moving so that I can actually make the trade, get in, get out, move on to the next thing, teach you guys, do other things, not staring at charts all day, and babysitting candles that don't want to perform and they just want to sit in these consolidation zones. So big fall like that, I'll give it a chance to breathe. Then we'll look for an entry with Meta. That's it. All right, we got new candles. Oh, we don't do new candles that way. New candles are going to be a little different now. I am popping over here so we can see the new candle on SPY. Here it is. Looks like we're going to have an opportunity to push up above. This candle prints higher than that and holds the bottom higher than the prior candle. That's a secondary indicator. I like it. It will give us a push. My main goal, though, would love to be to see us take this out. I don't see us doing that at this point in time. Rejection from the daily 9 here would be the second one for the day, and we would need to be with caution there on that. So that's everything you need to know about SPY in a nutshell. I'll repeat it again very slowly. This candle gets higher than the prior candle and keeps its low higher than the prior candle. We're in a good spot. This candle takes out yesterday's high. We're in an incredible spot. Do I think that's going to happen? No. If we reject the daily 9 right here, at this level here, we need to be cautious that the 4-hour 9 holds below if we get down that low. If we lose that 4-hour 9, then we need to hold on to our seats for a second and see if we get any kind of motion back down into this level. China high is a potential saving grace for this, but we're not going to see that much action in today's candle. We're going to see this thing push up just enough to get above this candle to give us that little bit of a high. We'll probably close somewhere right here around the daily 9 or just below it. And then, so not a clear rejection, but very clean trading action here. Very slow end to the day. Look at how the day has changed already on this time slot, on the 1 o'clock time slot. So 1 o'clock right here, we got our big push, and we were flat. Prior to that, you can see how erratic. We had nice growth. We had pullback, nice growth, everything, and we are now just flat. So market is waiting for 4 o'clock. We will get some more action today, of course. We still have plenty of time left in the day, but it's starting to look more and more like the VIX is going to give a little bit more ground and ES is going to take some. And we're going to be contending with the daily 9s on ES, SPY, and I bet the Qs at the same time. So that's where we are. It's all lined up, guys. It's all synchronized. Um, this is just the way things look like when they are rigged and controlled by others. So that's where we're at. Okay, I have no idea if I have been clear or choppy or anything, so I didn't see any complaints. So I hope that you guys could hear me.
You're
And
clear.
those, oh, nice. Oh, that's good.
Choppy here and there, but the majority was clear. I was listening.
Oh, good, awesome. Hey, Jinja, I don't know if you wanted to add anything here. You're welcome to if you wanted to. I'm done.
I just posted something. We are getting into that 740, 741 level. Let me just share my screen here really quick. Thursday
Sure.
trend day, guys. It's didn't miss Tuesdays and trends.
Okay, I
Tuesdays
have
and
you.
Thursdays, they love to be trend days. Okay, there we go. Here is my 15-minute. It's the okay, 740. So we reclaimed that. We don't forget what we said in the morning, right? There's levels. Okay, we clear that. Then the next one is between 740 and 742. Clear that. It's 742 to 745. That's what we're looking at. See previous IAA, but look, this is where our resistance is going to tension there. What can happen here? Okay, we're going up. This is where we need to hold 739 to continue. If it comes down right now for a little pullback, we need to hold 739 is crucial for the continuation of it here. And right now here too, they tried. We bounced again at 739. Okay, if you look at the 4-hour time frame, we are right there, almost at the 90 EMA. Okay, that is the level that I'm looking for. That's 740-ish, 741. We talked about it this morning. This was the first one, okay, that we needed to reclaim. Okay, we were already there in the morning, and we claimed it. We didn't even come and retest it, and now that is our second level. But guys, if you guys bought yesterday at close, you're super green. Even if you bought today at Asia.
Well, you know what's interesting is so
China.
I bought some 0-day some 1-days yesterday.
Unlike say China. So you are completely out. Wow, that's crazy. We can't hear you at all. Did you click mute?
You can't hear me at all?
Now I can. Yeah, now
Oh. I was saying
back.
is that yeah, I had bought some 1-days yesterday to go through, and interesting enough, when I sold them, it was around 10:39 Eastern time. No, sorry, 9:47 Eastern time. So about 17 minutes into the open, and obviously we had a big push from there. But just to show you guys and to remind you about Theta, those contracts I sold at around $1.50. They're worth about $1.20 right now, even though we're that much higher because of Theta.
And that's the reason why people ask me, why don't I stay on the trade?
Because you're only going to lose money.
Lose money. You need to get in and out. You get your 20-30%, and that's it. If you can leave a runner if you want, it happens. They just go, but you gotta. I want to show what happened today. Okay, we were here. I was looking for shorts. I missed this. I got into shorts here. If we go on the 3-minute, is here you go. I got into shorts. Look, very late. So we were trading live. Asia low. here, or no, Asia, sorry, Asia. And I told everyone we bounced, and I was like, oh, we have that level. We need to go there. When we came here and we rejected on the 1 minute, the 21, I got 10%. Once we hit here, I exited. Okay. We swept the level right there, and that was the trigger for the more. When we got here, I traded up here, and I got another trade there for 20 something percent on the day. But this levels, guys, are absolutely, this when I talk to people about significant levels, this is a significant level. Okay, the market was the wick. You make a perfect double bottom right there. Okay, double bottom. This is the neckline. We went there the first time, made a nice cup and handle. Okay, cup and handle right there on the 3 minutes. Beautiful, perfect cup and handle. You see what we were talking about yesterday about the gaps? We go right. You combine the 200 with your significant level with our indicator. Look at this. This 3 levels right here, reversal. Okay, this gives you so much confidence to be in the market. Okay, if you want to day trade. Okay, now what's happening here? Now we have gaps to the downside. We got to hold that. That's my 739 that I was talking about. See right here what it is? If you want more side, that's the level we need to hold on the higher time frames. If you come here to the 4 hour, we're starting on the higher time frames to reclaim the 200. That is crucial for the market to continue to the upside. We need to we're gonna reverse this trend is once this 9 crosses the 200 and the 21. Okay, that is a good indicator. Okay, so far we haven't even crossed, like Banana was saying, and so totally rightful that.
All right, Ginger, I
Daily
need you to
nine.
make
You're
a play
right
for
there.
me. Tell me what to do. We've got Apple earnings today. I bought my my overnight calls for Apple. I'm
You
up
know, I
35% right now.
usually have
What do I do?
day after at the day after FOMC for me, I call the angle too much. I just enjoy the earnings and the gain from FOMC. I let the market play itself and see what it does. I trade a normal size. This is it's interesting, right? Because this is your candle yesterday. Comes 50% goes above the open. And you gotta wait for today, man. You gotta wait. If we're right now trading, it's very unpredictable because what's going to happen later on with Apple. This we really can go either way here. So we can go make clear we reclaim, and we just see we continue to the downside. Like I said, closing above this pivot level here, 739, 740 is crucial for more continuation on the. And then we have another problem. Tomorrow is the end of the day, and it's Friday.
End of the month, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I'm at the end of the day, end of the month. That doesn't help. Okay. Because you can come here and make the bottom. It's very, very. I would hold my horses today after Amazon and Apple.
Come on, Ginger, pick a side. Pick a side, Ginger. Let's go. We're going up or down.
Look, I think honestly, think we're gonna fake the upside. We're gonna have a wick to the upside, and then on Monday or something, especially getting into August. But I think we might do here the top wick of the candle for the month instead of doing the bottom one. We're gonna do the top wick, especially if we can close today near yesterday high day. That will be very important for the market.
Yep.
So we can wick here, get there, do a double top, or even get to that level. That's 743 level, and then reject again. Okay, this is everyone and their mother on retail is buying the dip. Yesterday, I was looking at social media. We want to talk about. We're gonna buy. We're gonna buy. I don't disagree. Don't get me wrong. I don't disagree. Just know what is the market going to do next. Okay, are you buying a fake or not? But I don't disagree here buying it. And if you did, you got it at a really good spot, special on tech, on the chips. I mean, because look at this bounce here. It's incredible. This was at 86, and we are 115. We hit 118. Oh, did someone talked about 118 today? 117.
116. It's me. We need to
Live.
clear
I
116
think I
today.
said that. I think I said one.
You said, yeah, you did say 118. We tapped
118.
it. We tapped it
That's it.
118.
Yeah, right there. Hey, look at that. 118 right there. Okay. Right there. So that's what we need to clear. If we clear that on SOX, so that's your next level. 124 gap that can be filled. Is that a daily gap? It is not.
No.
But the market hates this imbalances. The market hates to see this wicks without a body candle. And you see why? The 4 hour. You see the gap there? Here's the gap. So there's an imbalance there. That's why you got to go to all the time frames. If you look at the 1 hour, you don't see that gap. But if you come to the 4 hour, you see this gap right here on SOXL, okay? Where the 200 is. That's your resistance. Look, we almost tapped it right there. See? Structural pivot level. A 4 hour candle closed above this. We change structure and we try to continue to go to the upside. Key level, we gotta get above this gap. Okay, this is key. Be careful. We might go 25, 124, 124 right there. Crucial to close. First level here, 116, like Badena was saying. This level here, this double bottom that we lost, we're gonna retest it right now. Can we continue, or just a retest and rejection and make a lower low? Okay. But I'll probably pocket some of the profits here. I was too heavy.
Run it.
Okay, that's what I'm just saying.
Run it.
You can always buy it again here. Okay, run it. Run it. I'll guarantee you we're gonna retest previous day high here at one point. You can always. This is if you're. Let me rephrase this. This is if you're in options. If you're in stocks, that don't. If you want to trim. If you're not, just stay. But what I'm saying is, what we're talking about the delta on the contracts on options, you got to be smart. Like Banana says all the time, change contracts. Okay, give yourself leverage.
Yep.
Change the contract at the end of the week. Get yourself another contract for another 2 weeks more. Okay, time is money, and time on the stock market is expensive. That's why a contract with the 2 week expiration is a lot more expensive than a contract with 1 day expiration. Why? Because you're buying time. Well, so same thing there. That's my 2 cents of what happening here. We're getting a support level right here on Apple. Okay, I just don't know. There's a lot of liquidity below us. That's my only problem
Yep.
with this. But I like the fact on earnings day. It's usually it's like a 70%. Okay, it's not 80% or more, but it's a 7% chance that the earnings are good when you go down on the day of that stock. So London was a beautiful buy as well, and now we're getting here to resistance levels. There's your 50 MA. There's your gap here, the daily gap right there. But I think I said it this morning. We fill the gap 50% and then we reject, and then we need to hold that level to continue to the upside. We almost got there to the 21 EMA to the 240, was short. That was interesting. There's there. Very interesting. Earnings will tell us what's going to happen next. But this is the double bottom right now. That neckline is right there. So for this to continue, earnings need to be good and we'll continue the upside. If earnings are bad, 200 lowest. Okay. Amazon is between two gaps. Okay, everyone, that's it. Talking too much here.
You're good,
Enjoy the
man.
rest of your day. But what a beautiful day, guys.
Great trading day.
There was whoever got in that low yesterday bought the dip. Congratulations.
We do have a trader that I was
Good money.
talking to earlier today. She did buy in
Oh.
yesterday contracts for the Amazon or actually in Microsoft. She took Microsoft for a run on the overnight too, but exited out 10 points too shy and couldn't let the MAs carry her through. So we all got to learn lessons still, even on the exits. But yeah, looks good.
We always do.
Yep.
Yesterday was a hard lesson for me. But you need to be comfortable with your exits and with your trades. And I joke a lot, right? Yesterday I was joking a lot about, boy, continue. But as long as you have a piece of setup that you trade and you have discipline, and if the number that you achieve, you're comfortable with that number and you're happy, you exit the market, right?
Yep.
But trading is all, trading, and I hear this exposes all your weaknesses. There's nothing like trading. Trading exposes how impulsive you are. Trading exposes how disciplined you are to wait for a setup. It's really hard to look at the screen here and wait for something to happen. You just want to jump, you want to in there. Trading, you want to take that money because you have the fear that in the next candle is going to disappear. If you can identify those things and you can make yourself a better and know when you're in there and identify them. It's very hard to identify those things when you're in a trade. You almost like blind. That's why it's so important for you. And I always do that. Exit. What did I do? Why didn't I hold? Why did I exit there? Why didn't I buy sooner? Was I too slow to get in? Sometimes you're just slow. Sometimes the market is sitting, and I scalped right the first 3 minutes. We did 20%, just a small trade. And the guy goes like, "Oh my God, that was too scalper," because you need to be ready. You need to have your contracts up. You need to have everything ready to pull the trigger. Okay, you need to be mentally prepared. Sometimes I don't take a trade 10 minutes or 15 minutes because of the market is not there. I'm not mentally prepared to get into it, and I hesitate. So there's all this stuff that we need to do to become a better trader, guys. And this becomes with time. Okay, like anything, when you start riding a bicycle, you're looking for the balance. You worry about it. After a while, you don't. In the beginning, everything is so. Oh my God, this the signal. Look at the mirrors, and then now you thinking about life and driving and cruise control mode in your head. You're not even thinking sometimes
You got the
on
kids
the way home.
today?
You're not even. It's just like you're like a robot. I have the kids, but the wife is
Ah, okay.
entertained with the friends. But yeah, we are.
All right, man.
And I played soccer last night, so I'm
Yeah.
a little beat up from the
That's
game.
good.
So
That's good. You score any goals? What position you play?
yeah, I did. Center midfield.
Ah, nice. Oh wow. Oh, you're the team. You are
2
the
assists
team.
and 1 goal.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm playing over 30. So guys that are 20 years younger than me, still trying to keep up with them. I'm a fan of gyms. That's what keeps me in shape.
Yep.
There's Amazon, guys. Look, we're looking at Amazon. Do you see right there? This is where we need to clear this gap. See what happens today. But if we didn't add earnings, that would be on the lower time frame. On the lower time frame, but we have earnings. Anything can happen. Okay, there's your 20. What do you see the gaps? There's your 90 EMA. This is just an example. We might bounce here if it's your trade, and this is TP1 that wick, and then your Asia high is your final TP where the 21 EMA is. You see how I was looking at the 4-hour. Look, I was looking at the daily. And the lower time frames, there you go. Your 200, you're rejecting your 200. That's what we talked yesterday on the indicator webinar. Okay, you would make money here. Okay? There's always an opportunity to make money in the market. How open are you to be in the stress level of a trade, right? And reject. Okay, right there. It's always the same thing, guys. We talked about it. Here's your look gap to the upside on the MAs. What do? Let's go get that gap. Now, if you can't close above the 200, what are we gonna do? We have gap below us. You're gonna retest the lows and try to bounce there. It's a free, but guys, this is how the market works. That's why we go in waves all the time. Left again, like we did this morning. There's the gaps. There's the downside. There's the gap to the upside. There we go. It just follows it. It's incredible. More here. Look at this gap we had here from the 200. Right? We eventually got there to the 200. We got there. See? So it's all about timing and execution and trading, right? Right? That's what I see. So many traders get faked out because they don't wait for the candle to close. Look, if you're in this trade here, you would exit. If you're an experienced trader, this is an example of a 4-hour, right? You're looking at this low, right? And you're telling yourself, oh my God, if we go below this low, I'm out, right? This is it. They'll say, oh my God, wick me out, and then you win my way. Wicked you out. Why? Because you weren't patient. You didn't wait for the candle to close. This was the fake. The candle closed to get liquidity, and then he closed above it, and he kept the level, so he continued to the upside. And this would be a great profitable trade on Amazon, but because of the wick of the 4-hour, you would get out. And this would be, even if where we are right now, guys, that's 6%. If you buy the stock, 6% contracts, this was probably a 200% trade if you in a 1 DT or 2 DTs, and probably around the 40% if you're on weeklies. So always, a lot of times I make that mistake, and oh, I know it's going to close red, and it comes right to the in the last second of the candle, it just whips and it closes green, and now you're shoot, okay, I got to get out. Yeah. Always wait for the candles to close. Don't ever try to guess what the candle is going to do. Let the market decide what is the next move. That's like here. Look, this is a nice, love this to reject here and come and retest this level at 347. We might not get there. We might just retest here at 3. Tesla, once it starts going, it goes. Okay. There's a little volume here on the 4-hour. Right. I love this. Even on the 1 minute when we day trade, right? You have the bounce. It's the fake one that tried to play the bounce here. They're out. And you got also the guys that think we're going to go low because we lost that low. He bounces aggressively and you're afraid of getting in. And the guys that are trying to make the loss a little lower never get a chance. It just goes. And it goes to here and it goes to that one, to the EMA. Okay. Look at Tesla. This is, I'm going to see how it closes today. I might get into some, I don't want to get in here now because this is resistance right there. Come and see if we retest the EMA again. Look at here on the 1 hour, right? It's changing the structural, look right there. On the 1 hour, we change the structural structure of the trend, right? Not completely yet, because this is the 50 on the 21 around here will be a much better entry. Let's see if the market gives us this 304. Here would be perfect around this, a little bit your stop loss. This wick there, right here around the 300, holding the 300. So that's a trade idea for everyone. See what we do here. We're right there at yesterday higher day, right there. Significant today. We went there. You think we're going? Look at our indicator, how it works, man. Double top, right there, perfection. We close. We're going to reject. We come down to the 21, holds the 21. Okay. Never closed. Well, it closed here, which is tough. We need the 4-hour probably didn't close above Asia, and then we reclaim Asia right here, close again, reclaiming it, holding the level, and we continue. But if you had played the EMAs on the 1 hour, it would have been perfect. Bounce comes, retouches the 90 EMA, this structural pivot level, Okay, that's what continue to the upside. Okay, always the same thing, guys. Okay, always the same thing. You want to get into long support levels. You want to go up, and you want to go short at resistant levels. Okay, getting in here is very risky. This might continue, but there's a highly chance that it comes down, retest this again, goes a little bit lower. Now you're in panic mode because now you're really negative. Okay, that's it.
All right.
I'll talk to you later, Banana. Oh, Banana, can you please check?
And you lose like a clown. You're not a rebel.
Said China have Asia.
So
Oh,
silent,
sure.
quick, and
They
make
indicated.
the next
Yeah.
big trick with Trend Rebel.
This is China.
Trend Rebel.
China.